Welcome to Nolan Knows. Let's take a look at the news. Hey, a couple of YouTube stars got to interview the President of the United States. I've been trying to get him on my show. I'd like to ask him some hard-hitting questions. Maybe if I sat around in a bathtub full of Cheerios and milk while wearing green lipstick and sucking a condom up my nose, he'll come on my show. It's worth it. I'll give it a shot. Apparently, Hillary Clinton was in Canada and did her impression of Vladimir Putin. God, I hope she did a better impression of Putin than she did of Secretary of State. Well, here we go in sports news. This is a twist for us. Apparently, Bill Belichick has denied knowledge of deflating footballs in the last playoff game. 11 of the balls apparently came up underinflated. It's really surprising. But I think if they'd had that extra minute, they could have gotten to the 12th ball. There was a measles outbreak, and it's tied to Disneyland, and it apparently has grown to about 70 people or 70 illnesses. You know, when I was growing up, we'd have 70 in the one grade school, and every grade school had it. We all lived through it. Not the end of the world, but for those of you who think, well, I'm not getting my kid immunized, deal with it. The U.S. Justice Department is not expected to charge Darren Wilson, the police officer in the Ferguson shooting, with any violation of any civil rights. 4 words come to mind: I told you so. The home of the Sandy Hook gunman up in Newtown has been given to the city. Apparently, nobody in the family wanted to keep the house. The bank that held the mortgage gave it to the city. So what the city inherited was a couple of acres of pristine land and an over 3,000 square foot house. This, I would think, would be a great opportunity for the city to sell it, make some money, and save their taxpayers some money. But no, they snapped into action, and they're going to tear the house down and leave it just a green, grassy field. Something they'll have to mow and maintain, and it will cost taxpayers forever. They must give city council people a stupid pill. Out in Hollywood, people are upset about the movie American Sniper. They allege to be upset because they used a fake baby in the Clint Eastwood blockbuster. That's the best they could take away from it. They're pretty cold-hearted. It's time for the Squirrel of the Week. I love the Squirrel of the Week. This morning I was sitting in the office with my producer getting ready for the program, and he told me about this squirrel. This idiot who apparently was doing some exercise by hooking up those rubber band things to his shower door, and working out. And I guess it didn't work out well. It was pretty tragic. Everything flew apart. He got hit in the face. He may lose vision in one eye. He was hospitalized. The guy lost work. And I said to my producer, you know, I'll bet that idiot voted for Obama. Turns out I was right. It was Reid that was doing all this. He was the genius, the Squirrel of the Week, who managed to hook up his exercise equipment in his bed. Who, by the way, who works out in their bathroom? I mean, just the smell alone could drive you right out of the building. Apparently Harry Reid does. He hooked up his exercise equipment to the shower door. This guy was the leader of the United States Senate. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, that is not only your Squirrel of the Week, but the nut too. It's time for It Sucks to Suck. Oh, they are sucking the money out of your pocket left and right, and they are spending it on the most incredibly stupid things. Oh, it is so easy to waste your money, when you don't have to earn it. If you had to go out and ask for money, if you had to go out hat in hand and beg for money, you'd be very careful how you spent it. If you were going to do a study, you'd make sure it was a study that was very important. But the federal government has chosen to take your money at gunpoint, taxing productivity, if you will, and they have spent it so unwisely. The latest, well, you're not going to believe this, $432,000 to study apps that gays use to hook up. And what they want to find out is if it leads to unsafe sex. Well, the whole point of the app is to hook up. Of course it leads to sex. And yeah, it's probably unsafe sex. But here's the bigger point. Why does the government care? Why is it their business? Why are they spending almost $500,000 of your money? I'll tell you why, because they can. You see, they don't have to go out hat in hand. They don't have to earn it. They don't have to beg for it. All they have to do is demand it, and you'll give it. And you'll give it because if you don't, the alternative is jail. Makes it a lot easier to waste money and do stupid studies, and boy, the government does a lot of that. It's time for the story of the week. And the story of the week this week is the State of the Union. The president came out and implied to us that the State of the Union was pretty good. He thought it was nice. I didn't see any worry on his face at all. But if you'd seen my face when he was talking, you'd have seen plenty of worry. I was looking at $18+ trillion in debt and going further in the hole. I was looking at wars all over the globe and unrest all over the world. And I was looking at an unemployment rate that's artificially low because workplace participation rate is down. How he had the hubris to come out and tell us that the State of the Union was good, I have no idea. But on top of that, and probably the most fun part about his State of the Union, was everything he promised to the middle class. Like the great savior that he has decided that we should start paying for your 2-year college education, free community college. Wow, who's going to pay for that? $18 trillion in debt, I guess we have to make the rich pay a little bit more. It's pathetic, you know. There's nothing you and your spawn can have that we don't have to pay for if we make too much money. The president doesn't care. It'll get votes. He'll be able to influence those 18-year-old minds in college. He also wants to raise the minimum wage, and we know what happens when you do that. We know what happens because we've seen it historically every time it takes jobs away from the people who need that first job, that first rung of the ladder, as they say, to grab a hold of. And now we have even better proof that raising minimum wage costs them their jobs. Some states are raising them above the federal minimum wage already. And so we've looked at it and we've seen it happen again, and we can compare it state by state. He's not done. He also wants to get rid of corporate tax loopholes. He argues that we should raise the taxes on corporations, make them pay for more, free college education. The problem, of course, is that corporations don't pay taxes. They just raise the prices of whatever they sell us, and we pay it. No, the State of the Union is really bad.